Alright, so right now we're going to talk about how to measure the wearable surface on a plug. First off, there's two types of plugs. Right here we have a double flare plug, meaning you have a saddle on both sides, double flare. And then right here we have a single flare plug, meaning you only have a saddle on one side and nothing on the other side. For this plug and most single flare plugs, you have a little O-ring, and that's what keeps it from falling out of your ear when you have it in. So how to measure them, or how to measure wearable surfaces in this case. There's two ways to go about it. The first way, and my preferred way, is with a pair of calipers, such as these guys. Calipers, you can get them at any hardware store. There's a couple bucks, pretty cheap and easy to get. This is going to be your easiest way to measure. Second way is going to be with a ruler or a tape measure, such as this. Right now, or first off, I guess we'll go over how to measure with a pair of calipers. Really simple. You're just going to take your calipers and you're going to measure from one end of the saddle to the other end of the saddle. And right here we have 7/16 wearable surface. Okay? Pretty simple right there. Now with a ruler or a tape measure, there's a little more eyeballing involved. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set it right on there. In this case, I'll line it up with the one. I'm going to look down, and where one flare touches and the other flare touches, everything in between is your wearable surface. So when I hold it down like there, I'm looking at a 7/16 wearable surface. Pretty simple. Now, same thing with a single flare plug. I'm going to take the plug. Now, when measuring a single flare plug, it's really, really important to take into consideration you need room for that O-ring, okay? Usually about 1/8 of an inch off the end of the plug is a good placement for the O-ring. So everything in between the O-ring and the flare on the other end is your wearable surface. Really simple. Same thing. I'm going to take the calipers. I'm going to measure from the flare on the front to the O-ring on the back. And right there, I'm looking at a 3/8 wearable surface, okay? Now, with the ruler, once again, a little more eyeballing involved, but ruler or tape measure, in this case we're using a tape measure. I'm just gonna set it right on that flare. I'm gonna measure from the flare to the O-ring, and I'm looking at a 3/8 wearable surface, okay? Same thing. Wearable surface, why is it important? Everybody's earlobes are a little bit different. Some are thicker, some are thinner. If you find a pair of plugs that you really, really like and they fit you really, really well, measure the wearable surface. And then from then on out, that's what size you want to get for your wearable surface. Most plugs are going to fit pretty well, but if you have the option, get your desired size, okay? And yeah, and that's pretty much how you measure the wearable surface on plugs.